I want to do a short video on anxiety and how to start to manage your anxiety better, or a tool you can use. And so the first step that I would suggest is when you notice you feel anxious, see if you can pay attention to when that feeling starts. Identify that, because awareness is always the first step. Notice when that feeling starts and see if you can become aware of or remember what are the thoughts, what is the thought or are the thoughts you were thinking that created that feeling within you. And ideally, it would be great to write that down and start to keep a log or a notebook of the thoughts that, many of our thoughts are just habitual. They're just habits. Maybe our parents, you heard your parents saying certain things and then you adopted that, or they just became notions that you got at some point and then you just started to repeat them to yourself, and then sometimes then it's like something happens and you're like, see, there's some truth to that. But see if you can notice the thoughts, write them down, and then eventually, slowly, just ask yourself whether or not that thought is serving you, if it is benefiting you. And oftentimes, what you realize when you're looking at the thoughts that are just habitually floating around in our head that we are believing, oftentimes it's a fear, and it's actually not true and hasn't even necessarily happened. There is that idea that if you think of the worst things that can happen, then somehow that's going to prevent it from happening. But in my experience, there's a law of attraction. It's more likely that you're going to attract an experience from repeating it over and over, a belief or thought over and over. So if you can start to do this process, it can be very empowering, because then you really start paying attention to the stories you're telling yourself, the thoughts that you're repeating to yourself, and then you can discern what's helpful and what's not, what you want to repeat to yourself, tell yourself, and what's not, what's a kind thing to say to yourself and what's not. And sometimes we get just addicted to the drama of things. We just feel like feeling something intensely, even if it may not be true, or it's a fear, or it's a negative something, at least we're feeling something intensely. And that makes us feel alive. But you can feel more positive, uplifting things intensely just as easily. And so it's just developing new habits. And I just think that we all, you and all of us, deserve to feel good. And there's feeling good is good for you. It really makes life a whole lot more pleasing and pleasurable and fun. So I hope that's helpful. And let me know in the comments if it is. Take care.